Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today, I would like to take you with me into my studio and tell you a little bit about what it means to make art for conservation. Many people see the finished painting hanging on a wall, but they rarely see the hundreds of decisions, the layers of paint, the moments of doubt, and the moments of excitement that happen before a painting is finished. As a full time artist, my days are completely surrounded by creativity. Every morning when I enter my studio, I feel grateful. My studio overlooks the beautiful Alt Penedès Valley in Spain. Outside my window, I see vineyards stretching across the landscape and mountains rising in the distance. On clear days, I can see Montserrat, one of the most impressive mountains in Catalonia. Before I even touch a paintbrush, I often spend a few minutes simply looking outside. Nature has a way of slowing us down. It reminds me why I paint the subjects I do. Most of my paintings are inspired by my travels through rainforests, wildlife reserves, national parks, and remote communities around the world. I have always been fascinated by biodiversity. The colors of tropical birds, the texture of leaves in the jungle, the expression in the eyes of an animal, the wisdom of indigenous cultures that have lived in harmony with nature for generations. When I travel, I take thousands of photographs, make sketches, and fill notebooks with ideas. But the real inspiration is not the photographs, it is the feeling. The feeling of standing in a rainforest while hearing monkeys in the distance. The feeling of seeing a sloth move slowly through the trees. The feeling of watching sunlight filter through giant leaves. The feeling of realizing how extraordinary our planet really is. When I return home, I bring those feelings into my studio. That is where the real work begins. I usually work on two or three paintings at the same time. Oil painting is a slow process. One layer needs time to dry before the next layer can be added. Instead of waiting, I move from one canvas to another. My table is covered with brushes, paint tubes, photographs, sketches, and cups of coffee. Soft music plays in the background. Often I listen to ballads because they create a calm atmosphere that helps me focus. The first stage of a painting is always exciting. Large shapes, loose brushstrokes, and broad areas of color slowly begin to create a composition. At this stage, the painting often looks nothing like the final result. Then comes the part I love most, building layers. Layer by layer, details begin to appear. The eyes become more expressive. The colors become richer. The atmosphere becomes stronger. Depth starts to emerge. A painting slowly comes alive. Sometimes people ask how long it takes to create a painting. The honest answer is that I never really know. Some paintings seem to paint themselves. Others challenge me for weeks. Every artwork has its own personality. What I learned during my studies at the Milan Art Institute is that patience is one of the most important tools an artist can have. Great paintings are not rushed. They are built carefully, layer by layer, allowing each stage to contribute to the final result. For me, the final details are always the most rewarding. It is often a tiny highlight in an eye, a subtle color variation in a flower, or a small detail in the feathers of a bird that suddenly makes everything come together. Those moments are magical. They are the moments when I stop painting for a second, step back, and realize that the painting is finally telling the story I hoped it would tell. And that story is always connected to nature. I don't paint animals simply because they are beautiful. I paint them because they are ambassadors for the natural world. I want the collector to feel something when they see one of my paintings. I want them to feel curiosity. I want them to feel joy. I want them to feel connected to nature. I want them to remember a journey they once made or inspire them to take one in the future. Most of all, I want them to see that the natural world is worth protecting. That is what making art for conservation means to me. It is not about painting problems, it is about painting beauty. Because when people fall in love with something, they are much more likely to protect it. Thank you for being here and joining Art to Protect. Go with me to the rainforest, enjoy the journey, and let's protect the beautiful planet together. I hope to see you next time. Please subscribe on my channel, like, and see you soon. Do you want to be part of the movement? Do you want to join me to the rainforest? Or do you want to see my art? Please visit www.arttoprotect.com.